Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. So as you can see, I am on the floor in the lounge because I just thought we needed a change of scenery again. I usually just film in my bed or at my desk, which are in the same room. So I thought we'd change it up, and this is pretty good natural lighting. It is in the middle of winter right now. My fingers are actually frozen. I'm wearing two jumpers as well as have a blanket on me and under me. Cozy vibes. Today's video is probably a video I should have done a while ago. It is basically the introduction to my series called Trying to Finish series I am in the middle of. Today I'm going to show you all the series that I've either started or have finished through that series. Yeah, we'll just go through all the series that I am in the middle of, and I'll show you what I still have to read and what I have read. Let's start off with some series I have completed because of the series I am doing. I have completed two series. The first one we completed was, I do not have the first book, but it was the Selection series by Kira Cass. Altogether, this was a 4-star series for me. I really enjoyed it. I think it was so nostalgic with the dystopianness. Back in 2010, when everybody was into dystopian novels and movies, this was really great. I really loved it. My first book or the first two books actually, the Elite as well as the actual Selection book, are in the UK at my partner's house, but I have now completed the series because of this series. We're gonna say series a lot in this video. Very happy I completed it, and it was all due to the series we had started on finishing books of series I'm in the middle of. Next, we finished this actually just a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, maybe a week ago now from when I'm filming, but it is the Once Upon a Broken Heart series. I know I got the hardback because it was half price off. The paperback hadn't come out yet. This together would also be a 4-star series for me. The first book was a 5-star, the second book was a 4.5, and then the last book was unfortunately a 3. I felt like it fell short and it didn't complete the series the way that I wanted it to. It lost its magicalness and its whimsicalness, and it was just kind of flat for me. It didn't follow multiple plot lines like the first two books did, and kind of just was one note. But as a whole, I would recommend the series. I really love it, and if I had gone in knowing that this book was as disappointing as it was, I probably wouldn't have been as disappointed. In saying that, it was a really good series. I love Stephanie Garber's writing, and I couldn't recommend the series enough. I absolutely love it. But that's another one we completed due to the series that I started on my YouTube channel. So in my reading journal, I got this from Amazon that I have. There is a section over here. I don't know if you'll be able to see because of the light. So there's a page for my series tracker, and that's what I have so far. And then I also have a couple on my phone, but I've just written them all down, or most of them down here. I don't have much space on this page because of how I creatively try to do that. The first series I started was the Shatter Me series. Unfortunately, I only have Unravel Me with me. I had bought the whole box set and then a special edition as well, a Waterstones special edition, which I really love. I started this series back in December. I'm only 3 books into the series because like I said, it's in the UK. There are 9 books in the series, finished 3, 6 to go. I really love this series. It is a dystopian, again, about our main female character, Juliet, who's kind of in a love triangle with Adam and Warner, and she was institutionalized a while ago because the world has changed and she has these powers. Everybody's very scared of the powers. She thinks that she is responsible for all these deaths, but she ends up learning to control her powers, and that's how far as I've gotten. And it's a really fun book. It's kind of like Divergent type book, but really good, and I absolutely love it. I gave the first book a 5-star, and then this one is a 4.5, and I can't wait to continue in the series. The next books in the series, there's novellas as well. So I read Untie Me, which is Untie Me, it's Unite Me. I keep doing that. It's Unite Me, and then there's Ignite Me, which I still need to read. Then there is Unravel Me, Restore Me, Find Me, Defy Me, Believe Me, and Imagine Me. All of them have these cool covers with the eyes on. Really love it, and that's what attracted me to it in the first place. Very gorgeous covers, and I really can't wait to continue the series. Next, I actually forgot the one book in my bedroom, and the other one is in the UK, but next I have The Naturals by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. There are 4 books in the series, and it is The Naturals, which I've read, Killer Instincts, which I've read, and then I have All In and Bad Blood to still go. I really enjoy this series. If you like crime and investigations or murder mysteries, you'll love this book. It is about some teenagers that get recruited into the FBI in a certain little section where they all have a natural knack for profiling and statistics and lies and or lie detecting, shall I say. So they all have some sort of thing that they can bring to the table, and each one of the books, as far as I know, follows a different one of these teenagers. The first book was Cassie, who was newly recruited, and she has a knack for profiling people. She can just tell what they're about from just looking at them and kind of just reading them. And then we followed Dean, who is also a profiler, and both of them have some sort of tie to criminals or cold cases. So they end up working with the FBI on cold cases and eventually start working on active cases. It's really interesting. It's really fast paced. It's really quick to read, and I absolutely love them. I have yet to give any of Jennifer Lynn Barnes' books a 5-star, but I think it's because it is YA, and YA isn't typically my favorite genre. I love reading it because it's always quick and easy, but it isn't one of those that just make me feel something. But on the line of Jennifer Lynn Barnes, I am also in the middle of, or close to the end of, the Inheritance Games. I've read the Inheritance Games, the Hawthorne Legacy, and I still need to read the Final Gambit, so that will be in a future reading vlog for sure. I really love this book as well. I mean, this series as well. 4-star and 4-star again. Not a 5-star in my opinion, but these chapters are short. It's really quick. It's really interesting. I really love the main female character. She's a little bit like a head in the clouds, but she is witty, she is funny, and I really, really love this series. It kind of is about a girl. She's 17 years old and she inherits this gentleman's entire estate. He's left basically nothing to his family and given everything to her. They all need to follow these riddles and clues to find out why he did what he did. There's like clues in his will and little riddles he's left them, and they just go about all these like little mysteries and follow along the plot. There's also like a little romance in it, but it's YA again, so nothing too crazy, but really loved it, really found it interesting. It reminded me of a movie, which always makes me love a book even more. So yeah, another one of them. Currently, my absolute favorite series I'm in the middle of is ACOTAR. I know everybody says it, and I literally put off reading this for the longest time. I started my reading journey back on my makeup channel, I think in 2022. I was like, no, I'm not doing it to myself. Look how long those books are. Absolutely not. And I ended up picking up A Court of Thorns and Roses earlier on this year. Loved it. 5 stars in my opinion. And then just a couple weeks ago, I picked up A Court of Mist and Fury. The chokehold this book has on me. I think this is a 6-star if I compare it to the first book. The first book is still 5-star, but this is definitely a 6-star. I think about it all the time since I've read it. I picked up the next 2 books, which is A Court of Wings and Ruin and then A Court of Frost and Starlight. And then the last one is called A Court of Silver Flames, which I have in the UK, which my partner will bring down for me when he comes to visit me. I have basically the full series and I can't wait to read this. I think it's a 5-star series so far. I've heard really bad things about A Court of Wings and Ruin, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm very excited. I'm giving myself a couple of weeks before I start reading it because it is intimidating. It's like over 700 pages, so a lot. I can't wait. I can't wait to get back into it and see what Farah's up to. She's honestly one of my favorite female characters I've ever read about, and that's saying a lot because I thought Katniss Everdeen was like my favorite forever, but it looks like Farah's overtaken that. Very excited to continue this series and I can't wait to do more reading vlogs on it. Next we have Powerless. As you know, I didn't love this book. I think I read it back in February as well, by Lauren Roberts. I didn't love it. I gave it a 3.5 star. Not the worst book I ever read, but you could tell that it was her first book. There was just like a bunch of tropes thrown at a board just to see what would stick. It was entertaining enough. I loved Adina, the side character. I did like Payton, but Kai's character was cliche for me. I didn't love that, so I wasn't going to continue on in the series, but then I saw the novella came out and we actually got it in South Africa, so I was like, you know what? Let's see what it's about. And apparently it follows Adina, which is my favorite character. So I got Powerful as well. And I don't really have the last book yet called Reckless. Not the last book, but the next book is Reckless. So it is part of a series. Read Powerful, gave it a a 3.5 star. And then we have Powerful, which is the novella like between two books. So let's see how that goes, but that is probably going to be next on my list. Then we have Magnolia Park series. I actually just did my wrap up I filmed it earlier today. I really liked Magnolia Parks. I gave it a 4.5 star. It wasn't quite a 5 star like everybody said, but again, it felt a little bit too juvenile. I really loved it, and it was summer then, I guess, so it helps, but I was just on a floaty in the pool and I couldn't put it down, having like a couple of cocktails. It was the perfect scene for it. But Daisy Hates fell flat for me. I gave it a 3 star. It was just meh. I didn't love the character development in it. I didn't like the story or the plot line. Magnolia Parks and BJ are definitely more of my favorites. So it follows like a bunch of socialites and their friends, and they all have really toxic relationships, and it follows like two separate couples in each book. So Magnolia Parks is with BJ Ballantyne. Daisy Hates is like having a love triangle with Romeo, I can't remember his surname, and Christian. Yeah, Daisy Hates is not the greatest, so I don't know how many more I'm going to be able to handle, but the next book is called Magnolia Parks The Long Way Home, and then we have Daisy Hates The Great Undoing, and then Magnolia Parks Into the Dark, which would be the last book. My camera battery died. Surprise, surprise. It wouldn't be my video if something didn't happen technical like that. But the next 3 series I'm in the middle of, or actually 4 now because I started one the other day, are all on my Kindle. So the first one is the Mindfuck series, which I started with the first book called The Risk. I didn't buy like the whole big book. I just bought the separate, or downloaded the separate books onto my Kindle because I wasn't sure if I was gonna like it, and I'm still not sure if I like it. I read the first book called The Risk, and it was a 3-star read for me. It's very short, 160 pages if I'm not mistaken, where a lot happened, but still a lot can't be explained. So I felt like the character development wasn't that great, and it wasn't like the main plot point. It was more centered upon the shock value of the murders that our main character Lana actually committed. But if you don't know, it is a series about a serial killer who falls in love with an FBI agent who's actually investigating her case. I wouldn't even classify her as a serial killer. She's more of like a vigilante / revenge killer. So something bad happened to her in her past, and she's got a hit list, and she's just killing people off who did her wrong in her younger years. She's changed her identity, but at the end of the first book she's kind of caught, so we'll see where it leads us. The next book is called Sidetracked, and then we have Scarlet Angel, All the Lies, and Paint It All Red. So we'll see how we feel about that, but for now we've read 1 book. Then we have The Vicious Lost Boys by Nikki St. Croix. This is my guilty pleasure. It is a dark Peter Pan retelling. Wendy gets taken by Peter, but she gets taken at like a later age in life, and she's not called Wendy, actually her name's Winnie. So he takes all her ancestors when they reach 12. For some reason he didn't come back for Winnie until she was 18, I think, 17 turning 18. It's a lot of dirty smut, and yeah, I absolutely love it. It's one of my most guilty pleasures, I'm not gonna lie. The book's also short, like 260 pages max, and it's entertaining. It is so entertaining and I love it. Peter Pan's also my very favorite Disney movie other than Aladdin, but I still haven't found a dark retelling of that. In the series there's The Never King, The Dark One, Fae Princess, and then The Fae Princess. So I've read the first 2 books, which is The Never King and The Dark One. Really love them, so 2 more books to go in that series. It's not like a 5-star or anything, but it's like a 3-star series. It's literally just dirty smut, that's all it is. So yeah, if you like that type of thing, you definitely enjoy it. It takes place on Neverland. Wendy doesn't want to go home. Peter Pan lost his shadow and she helps him find it. There's Captain Hook, but it's dirty. It's dirty. But I love it. Then we have the Out of Uniform series by Al Kennedy, and I read this back in, I want to say May. Really loved it. It was almost a 5-star actually. It was a 4.5, 4.75. It had almost all the things, but again, dirty smut. It's good. It's like forced proximity, fake dating. love triangle. It's promiscuous, but I really, really liked it as well. That was my first Elle Kennedy book I ever read, and I thought it was freaking great. Then I realized it was a series. So we have Heartbreaker, which is the first book that I read. Then we have Troublemaker, Sweet Talker, and Ladies' Men. So it's all called Out of Uniform because they all are in some sort of, I don't know what you call them, but military type of thing. So Navy, SEALs, Army, all of that. So it's very, very, very cute. And I love the whole romance romance part of it, but it's much dirtier than like a YA romance. Then I started the Dead Romantics. I don't know what all the books are called in this series. I'm gonna look it up on my Goodreads. Okay, so yeah, there is The Dead Guy Next Door. It's by Lucy Score. I gave The Dead Guy Next Door 4 stars, really loved it. But the next books are called The Body in the Backyard, and then Riley Thorne and The Corpse in the Closet, then Riley Thorne and The Blast from the Past. So there's 4 books in this series. Absolutely love them. I also have some series that I still need to start. There's one duology with One Dark Window, Two Twisted Crowns I haven't read yet. Then I have This Woman Kingdom by Tayara Murphy, which wrote the Shatami series. I haven't started Assassin's Blade by Sarah J. Maas as well, and there's one more. I haven't read the Caraval series. I need to start that as well. So I still have a few series that I want to start, but I'll start them all in the same series. But yeah, that's the introduction I should have done a few months ago when I started this series, but I hope you guys don't mind that I only put it in now. But I have a lot to get through, and I'm very, very excited to take you guys along with me. But with that said, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you're excited to follow along with me now that you know more of the series that I need to complete. That's it from me, and I'll see you all in the next reading vlog. Bye guys.